Hello friends, today I'm going to be showing you how I make custom hand-drawn stickers. I'm making one for myself today, but I do take commissions over on my Etsy shop, Doodles by Button. I draw all of my stickers on a 3x5 index card to help keep the size consistent. I do a very loose, rough sketch that I send to the client. This is for posing purposes only, so it's not meant to be pretty. Next, I refine the sketch, putting in any little detail that the commissioner wants, or in this case that I want. I'm doing my rendition of the painting Lady Clare, which is by J.W. Waterhouse. It's one of my favorite paintings, and I wanted to do this sticker for a long time, and I'm finally carving out the time to make it for myself. Once the detailed sketch is done, I send that to the client for their approval. Once they approve it, it's time to go on to the inking stage. Here you can see an example of an actual pose sketch that I sent to a client. And here are detailed sketches that I have done recently for different clients. To get ready for the inking, I tape my sketch down into a light box and then tape down my sticker paper. I found this sticker paper on Amazon. I will link to some in the description below if you're interested. Now for the inking, I usually use Micron pens to ink my stickers, but this is my favorite way to do line work with colored pencils. I think it creates this really lovely, soft effect. It blends in beautifully with the markers and the coloring stage. Once the line work is done, I check in with the client again, and then it's time for the fun part, color. I use a combination of Copic and Prismacolor markers for my stickers, but for this one I'm only using Copics. At this point, if this were a commission piece, I would send the client swatches if that was necessary. It's typically not if I'm doing fan art, but if I'm working on an original character without a reference, it is often necessary. And then I just get to coloring. This part is a lot of fun and is very relaxing. I add detail as I go, often adding light into certain places or redefining lines that the marker softened a little bit too much. Little bits of white are added in with either Jelly Roll pens or Posca paint pens. Now it's time to cut it out. If I was doing a border cut, I would use regular scissors, but I'm doing a close cut for this sticker, so I use an X-Acto blade. There's two kinds of blades you can use. There's this one that you can see, but I do not prefer this as I grip it down towards that little rough area, and that twists to keep the blade on, and very often I find that it just twists off and makes the blade wiggly while I use it. I'm not a fan. So instead I use this blade. I think it's more in the style of a box cutter, but I vastly prefer it. It's easier to hold in my opinion, and the refills last forever. Cutting is pretty straightforward. I just very carefully work my way around. And we're done. I'm really excited to put this in my found sketchbook. Here are a few other stickers that I've made for myself. This one has 2 figures. This is an example of a border cut sticker, a portrait, another border cut, and a couple of pretty ladies. I think there may be a noticeable pattern as to what I enjoy drawing for myself. And here's some recent client work. The sticker on the left is an example of the ink line art, whereas the one on the right is using the same technique as I used in this video. All finished. Now all that's left is to peel and enjoy. Thanks for watching.